1951, and I was in khaki at the time, doing a little bit of conscription. Yes, conscription. And I had a friend called Brian, and he wrote me a letter, and he described a show he'd seen called The Mikado. And at that time, the chorus, not the chorus, the choir at St Lawrence was all male, and so most of the men were roped in.
Well, I started off, in fairness, I was 16, and I started my singing in Gilbert and Sullivan at Christchurch in 1954. And for that particular event, we were short of a tenor, we were short of a defendant, and Brian was invited to come over from Abbots Langley. There was a connection right at the start. That's where it began for me. And then we started seeing one another quite a bit, and I think we were auditioned, and we played the leads in Pirates of Penzance.
My mother worked with a man called Tom Beckford, who became a long-standing business manager of the society. And he said to her one day that the Abbots Langley GNS Society were really short of singers, particularly contraltos. And he knew I could sing. So he said, "Do you think your daughter would come just for this show and prop up the alto line in the chorus?" So I did, and never left, really, after that. That was 1965 that I joined, if it's so 50 years ago. And it was during that show that, of course, I first met Norman, and then we worked together the following year as the Pirate King and Ruth in the Pirates of Penzance. And the rest, they say, is history.
A lady called Bert Cooper, who was secretary of the cricket club and head man of the gardening association, and a real village character. And on one occasion, he had a very good bass voice. And I remember he was playing Old Adam in Ruddigore, and his teeth flew out into the footlights, which we always had in those days. And he carefully stooped down and did it all in character and put them away. And apparently, when we were asking people in the audience, not many of them had noticed. So,
personally, I loved playing Katisha in the Mikado, the last two performances we've done. But I also liked playing Phoebe. And non-GNS, I think my very favourite was in Farndale Mikado, when I had played a very drunk MD. And that was tremendous fun. And I had an orchestra that played deliberately out of tune. And they were all such good players, and it was wonderful to hear them play the overture so badly.
We always had a very strong lineup of soloists, and say 6 or 8 really good voices, and I think over the years that has continued, and we've always had very good voices for all the parts, even the supporting parts.
It gives you a wonderful opportunity to enjoy singing, to really sing out, to sing in 4 parts, which doesn't often happen in many of the modern shows. And ALGSS has kept up this standard, has kept the flag flying for GNS. And I'm glad to say is still attracting some excellent singers who come now, obviously not just from the village, but from far and wide to join us.
Well, for me, the bondings, the friendships that are very, very precious. I mean, it all started for me now 50 years ago. And those people matter a great deal. They're there through thick and thin, all sorts of memories, all sorts of happy times. A lot of humour, a lot of, quite differences, and a lot of learning through that time.